This is what I do to make water kefir. I make it every 2 days. I ferment it for 48 hours. And it's a very fast process. I've been doing this for about 2 years now and enjoy it thoroughly. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you how quick and easy this is to keep up and to do. I have everything. This is my fermented water kefir, and this is what I keep stored under my cupboard. I have all my utensils together. I have a container to put it in, to put my fermented kefir in. I have a glass ready to pour for me to drink. I've got my sugar. I have tap water that I've let sit for 48 hours. When I make my new batch of kefir, I get ready, 2 bottles of water, tap water, let it sit on my counter for the 48 hours. This is fermenting in the cupboard, and all the chlorine dissipates from my tap water. So I'm going to go ahead, show you what I do. Oops. Take out my organic raisins. Every few times I make it, I completely wash this out with hot soapy water, but not every time. Here's my tap water that sat for 48 hours, 2 days. I use, for the amount of kefir I'm making, this is a 2-liter container, I use less than half a cup of white granulated sugar. I use just a tiny bit of organic molasses. I use just a 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Use a wooden chopstick. Remember, water kefir, no metal utensils. So I dissolve this sugar. I don't heat up my water. I used to make this such a long process. I don't do that anymore. You certainly learn how to, when you enjoy it, when you make it often, you certainly learn how to speed up the process. If the sugar isn't completely dissolved, it's not a problem. I'm going to use the same amount of grains that I have. I usually will half the grains as they double. They just get so large. Here, I'll continue to add water. This isn't 2 liters of water. This is the amount of water kefir that I personally drink. I don't need this amount of grains. There's more than half a cup of grains here. I need probably 1/4 of this. But I kind of just play it by ear. I'm not going to use all the grains. I'm going to feed these to my dog. I'm going to get my organic raisins. I realize I don't have them out here with me. But as you can see, I have everything all together. This is my new kefir, ready to drink. I don't do a second ferment. I'm quite satisfied with the taste of 1 ferment. The initial, 48 hours. I'm going to set everything aside to wash. This is what I'll drink in the next 2 days. This is what I'm going to drink now. As I have some left over, I'm going to just pour it right back in here. Organic raisins. I use 3 per batch. Sometimes I'll even use them for 2 48-hour ferments. But I knew these raisins I had already used twice. That's why I'm using fresh raisins, covering it up with a coffee filter, plastic band, in my cupboard. Everything will settle down. I'll check this tonight, and it'll just be bubbling away. It's winter here right now, and I will admit, if the room is cool, it doesn't ferment as quickly. The coolness of the room will slow down the fermenting. But usually, I'm in the kitchen here, and my cupboard that I store it in is right next to my stove. Anyways, I'm going to wash this out. I wash and dry it right away. I wash and dry everything. Oh, I fill up my 2 glass jugs just with tap water. I used to use distilled water. You don't have to. Our water is fine. Our city water is fine. But you do have to let it sit for 48 hours or 24 hours to let all the chlorine dissipate, because I always fill these up the day that I ferment this, so my 48 hours, my next time that I strain my grains, everything will be ready. So, cheers to your good health and to water kefir. A great drink, love it. Wish you'd give it a try.